Hi, welcome to Lies and Secrets channel. We hope you will have fun with us. Enjoy watching. I never thought I did it with the beautiful dog in a restaurant. My name is Luna. And if there's one thing I've always been certain of, it's my love for Theodore. He's my rock, my best friend, and the person who never fails to make me laugh even on my worst days. So when his birthday arrived, I was determined to make it special. I reserved a table at a quaint little restaurant he'd been wanting to try for months. The evening started perfectly. Theodore and I sat at a candlelit table near the window, the warm glow of the lights reflecting in his kind eyes. We shared stories, laughter, and our favorite bottle of wine. Everything felt just right until I noticed the beautiful dog at the table. Beside us sat a family of 4, accompanied by a large Rottweiler. The beautiful dog was well-behaved but unusually fixated on me. Soulful brown eyes seemed to bore into mine, and every so often it would wag its tail enthusiastically. Whenever I glanced its way, Theodore noticed and chuckled. "I think you've got an admirer," he teased, raising his glass. "It's no surprise, though you're stunning tonight." I laughed, brushing off the comment, but the big, beautiful dog gaze lingered. Then, as if unable to contain itself, it slipped out from under its owner's table and padded over to me. Before I could react, it nuzzled my legs and began licking my shoes. "Oh my goodness, I'm so sorry," the big beautiful dog owner exclaimed, rushing over to pull it away, but Theodore waved off their apologies, grinning no harm done. "Honestly, I'd say it's a compliment. My wife's irresistible even to animals." Apparently we all laughed, and the moment passed as the beautiful dog returned to its place. Yet something about the encounter lingered with me. There was an odd warmth in the big beautiful dog gaze, something almost human that unsettled me in a way I couldn't quite explain. The rest of the dinner was delightful, but my mind kept wandering back to that Rottweiler. Why had it been so drawn to me? I felt silly for dwelling on it, but the feeling refused to fade. After dinner, I excused myself to the restroom. As I closed the door behind me, I heard the faint patter of paws turning around. I saw the Rottweiler sitting there, its head tilted as if it had followed me intentionally. "What are you doing here?" I whispered, half amused, half bewildered. The beautiful dog didn't answer. Of course, it simply wagged its tail and moved closer. Its every step, deliberate yet gentle, as if it knew it needed to tread carefully with me. I hesitated, my breath catching in my throat, unsure of what to do. Its presence was both comforting and unnervingly intimate, like an old friend I hadn't seen in years but instantly recognized. Tentatively, I knelt down, placing a hand on its head, and it responded with a deliberate, almost reverent nozzle against my palm. The warmth of its fur seemed to seep into my skin, grounding me in that moment for what felt like an eternity. I was lost in its gaze. It was more than just a beautiful dog. It was a silent observer of my soul, its eyes brimming with understanding. I felt stripped bare as though it could see past the surface, to all the things I kept hidden even from myself. It wasn't love or attraction, but an uncanny sense of being known, of being seen in a way that no one else ever had. That gaze was a mirror reflecting back the unspoken doubts, fears, and longings I had buried so deep I'd forgotten they existed for a fleeting moment. It felt as though this creature wasn't just comforting me. It was urging me to confront the pieces of myself I had neglected for far too long. He then started hitting me and left me behind with my overthinking. As I sat there, memories began flooding back, moments in my life where I had felt unseen, unheard, times I had questioned my own worth. The big, beautiful dog gaze felt like a gentle reminder, urging me to confront those buried emotions. I couldn't quite explain it, but it was as if this creature saw through the mask I wore every day and accepted me for who I truly was. When I returned to the table, the beautiful dog stayed behind and life went on as if nothing had happened. Theodore didn't ask why I took so long, and I didn't offer an explanation. But for the rest of the evening, my thoughts kept returning to those soulful brown eyes. Later that night, as Theodore and I walked home hand in hand, I tightened my grip on his fingers. "What's that for?" he asked, smiling down at me. "Nothing," I said, smiling back. "I just love you." That's all, and I meant it, whatever had stirred in me during that odd encounter. It was a reminder of how much I cherished the life we had built together. The big, beautiful dog gaze had been a mirror reflecting not just my vulnerabilities, but also the depth of my gratitude for the man beside me. Over the following days, I couldn't stop thinking about the beautiful dog. Felt as if our encounter had unlocked something inside me. I began to see my life through a different lens, noticing things I had taken for granted. Theodore's patience, his humor, the way he always made sure to K******** my forehead before leaving for work. It all came into sharper focus. I realized that my love for him wasn't just about the big gestures but the quiet moments that made up our everyday lives. One evening, Theodore found me sitting on the couch, lost in thought. "You've been quiet lately," he said. Sitting down beside me, "Is everything okay?" I hesitated, unsure of how to explain what I was feeling. "I don't know," I admitted. "I guess I've just been thinking a lot about us, about life, about how lucky I am to have you." Theodore smiled, pulling me into his arms. "Well, I'm the lucky one," he said, sing the top of my head. "But I'll never complain about hearing you say it." As I leaned against him, I felt a sense of peace wash over me. Whatever doubts or insecurities I had been grappling with felt smaller in that moment. The Rottweiler had stirred something in me, but it was Theodore who reminded me of what truly mattered. Months later, as Theodore and I strolled through the park on a crisp autumn afternoon, I spotted a familiar Rottweiler playing fetch with its owners. My heart skipped a beat as its eyes met mine, and it bounded over to us, tail wagging furiously. "Hey there, buddy," Theodore said, crouching down to pet it. "Remember us?" The beautiful dog licked his hand before turning its attention to me. For a moment I felt the same connection I had felt that night in the restaurant, but this time it wasn't unsettling. It was comforting, like seeing an old friend. As the big, beautiful dog owners approached, I smiled and waved. "Your beautiful dog has a way of making people feel special," I told them. They laughed. "Yeah, Joshua has always been a little intuitive." One of them said he seems to know when someone needs a little extra love. As we walked away, Theodore reached for my hand. "You okay?" he asked, his eyes full of concern. I nodded, squeezing his hand tightly. "I'm more than okay," I said. "I'm happy, and for the first time in a long while." I truly meant it. Life wasn't perfect, and neither was I. But moments like this reminded me that happiness wasn't about perfection. It was about connection, love, and the quiet understanding that we're never as alone as we think we are. Dear friends, thank you very much for watching. Leave comments, put like, share with friends, and subscribe to the channel. We hope you will have fun with us.